Motion to seal the minutes, yes?
Yeah, motion was to seal, come out and seal the minutes, all the same, one big swoop.
All done?
And now we're back in public session.
Okay.
You good, Butch?
Good to go up, you're on.
Okay,
Do the
now on,
contract first.
contract.
This is a 3-year contract for Bob Gagnon.
Do I have a motion?
You do. I
Do
made
I
it.
do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Just one signature or two? Or all?
All everybody's.
Oh, it's on the next page too.
That's no line.
Yeah, it is. There you are. Front. Right there.
You can sign a second.
Oh, you signed in my name.
I did.
Oh, it's okay.
Just sign on the bottom.
Sign right
No,
over.
no. Oh, right here. Jesus, I'm up. So I'm used to signing at the bottom.
You turned your head too quick.
That's it.
Now Phyllis is on the second.
Phyllis, you're on the second page.
Oh,
And then Kevin's on the
Andy,
I couldn't count lines.
usurped our positions
I know.
this side of the table, so apparently the three of us are on one page,
doesn't matter.
as it should be. Is there a red light or something so we know that our official camera's going?
Yeah, it's on the other side.
Oh. So sitting on this side, we
So
would
you
never
could put a
notice.
mirror on the other side
Yeah.
so you could
So-
see.
And they can't hear us, right, when we're talking?
Who can hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever's looking at us.
No, they
Nobody's
can't.
looking at it.
Oh,
It's
is
not
There's a recorder
live.
on it.
Oh, oh, good. So it's just like Butch.
What else do we have to sign?
Which is live.
That's it.
Okay, and then we had for public,
One for the public, yes.
Recommendations to hire.
oh, do we have,
And the background.
No, because we can't do that until he's in
No.
his background.
right, we had the offer letter up.
Right.
Is that public or not?
No.
No, it's not.
And then you,
Humvees.
Humvees.
Humvees, yes. Well, I spoke to McPherson Firearms, who expressed an interest in the Humvees, but not to purchase them with cash, but rather utilize them for trade. And they threw out a number of like 3,000 apiece. So I actually put my newest officer on a little research, and he came up with a similar year. Ours actually has less mileage. I don't know if it's as good of condition as what he researched here, because it's been outside, but we're looking anywhere from like 11,500. I think he came up with one that was like 29,000 or close to that.
Wow.
19,000, maybe it
Big
was
price difference.
19,000. So I guess where I'm going with this is to request permission to maybe advertise it on eBay or one of those sites.
Yeah.
I think there's eBay Motors.
Craigslist.
We've used Craigslist before.
And then there's, well, I know for your work, we use Big Truck Salvage. I don't know if they would go on that.
If Karen has time, she's listed it before, so if you want to get Karen the mileage and the
Pictures.
pictures and
So,
stuff.
Craig, okay, so I can get that and, okay.
Put you on till next week, because I'm
I
under.
know. But, we probably won't get to it anytime soon either.
Okay. And what's going on with the tower and the other stuff that you have, the huge generator that's out there and that big massive truck?
Yeah, the truck can probably go. I think we've got the title or the certificate to apply for the title for the truck. The tower cannot. There's certain
Government
equipment,
restrictions.
right, that you can release to the public, and there's certain items that you can't. The tower's one of them.
So if the truck can go, one of the things that I would recommend is like that Big Truck Salvage site. Look at that, because that's usually, it's called Big Truck Salvage. It's a good one to put on and then people bid on it.
If we want to get rid of the tower, maybe see if Deerfield PD or Stratham PD or somebody that holds a fair may be interested in it for crowd control, if we're looking to get rid of it.
Wayne would probably be good for Deerfield Fair.
Yeah, Wayne would be.
He's a good contact for that.
He's a good contact because he works the fair every year.
Well, they have a very tight control board though.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing goes anywhere unless the board.
But he would know how to
He
navigate
would know
that.
who to, yeah, he would know who to do.
Well, I used to know the president, but I don't anymore.
Okay. And then the last item I have is to make a recommendation and a request to increase Officer Jeremy Lister's wage to $20 and $2.16. And the reason why is when I did the budget, I was given 2 rates of pay for the part-timers, and apparently there were actually 3. So he kind of flew under the radar. So I'm paying, with the 4% increase, I'm paying the two new part-timers at $20.16 an hour. That's what they were approved for. So I can't have,
Jeremy was meant
Yeah.
there producing.
so that's why I'm requesting that he be up to $20.16 an
Is
hour.
that a motion?
Absolutely.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Good, we go.
Okay, that's all I got?
And also you want to conduct interviews for a
Yes.
full-time position next Tuesday?
Yep, I have, this is the 14th. I have 2, potentially 3, I got another application, no experience on all 3 of them. But I do wanna schedule interviews, and my goal is to find that last full-time position and send them to the full-time academy when Kevin Nealon goes in September.
We have somebody in now, right?
Yep, started Monday.
Right.
Yep.
Is that Mullins?
No, that's Frank McGinnis.
McGinnis, okay.
Yep. So he's to report back every Friday when he gets dismissed. We'll see how he's doing. But he seemed to be pretty excited.
So do we have a motion for her to schedule those interviews?
Yes.
For Tuesday the 14th? Yep.
One at 2 and one at 3, and we might have another one if I just get another application. I might set her up for an interview.
Okay. Which one do you want?
You need somebody on the board, right? Somebody-
So we have a first and a second?
I don't mind
Yeah.
if somebody that's more familiar.
All in favor?
That doesn't bother me.
Aye.
Bothers me
Aye.
when I don't know what's going
Aye.
on.
Well, that's what I'm saying, which one would you like?
Are you guys okay with having?
I'm trying to talk Mrs. Thompson
I just needed
into
approval
assuming one
first.
of them. Yes.
I think the same person should do it on.
Right, and I don't know who has the time off. I mean,
I do. Ken does.
Hey,
Probably
watch your
do.
mouth.
Well, you said you do.
I have the time off, I just don't know whether I'll.
So do you wanna do 3 interviews on Tuesday the 14th? Or do you wanna do 4?
Well, I'll certainly volunteer.
You wanna do all 3?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, I just figured,
So we're okay with that?
Are you okay with 3? Does anybody else wanna do those besides Ken and me?
I already know I'm so booked up right now with work.
Well, I don't think we need 2.
Didn't start
No,
till-
we don't.
no.
So I'll let you do them.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's a nice person.
Okay, so we're all in favor of her scheduling those?
Yes.
Yes.
So please understand, I mean,
You don't
a
care?
lot of this is, no, I don't, as long as we
Okay.
meet the criteria. But it's also a lot, we're moving fast and furious, so it's not like, I'm looking at a block of time and I'm like, let's get them in.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of moving parts to this. It's, getting them into the process. I'm gonna do a PT test, then a background investigation, and there's 3 of us right now, in addition to some part-timers. Myself, Dan, and now we have George. Ken, hopefully will be back here. We'll know a little bit better tomorrow. So, we're trying, and we're busy. I mean, we had.
What about Kevin?
Pursuits.
Is Kevin part-time?
He's at the academy.
No, Frank is.
Oh, Frank.
No, Kevin's full-time. He's not,
Yeah, I
ready to
was,
go yet. He's very, very close.
Okay. Yeah, he was right with
Yep.
Kevin.
I mean, the plan is, after this week, we'll evaluate. We may release him solo, but only if myself or
Somebody's
Dan
out,
or
somebody's
Joel,
out.
someone's
Yeah.
working
Yeah.
along.
So how many are we going to hire altogether? I guess that's,
At least one more full-time, right?
Yep, and then one more part-time, or potentially 2, depending on, we've got another part-time position. But it's not so much the positions, it's training. I can't do my chief stuff right now. I mean, I'm doing calls, we had a juvenile investigation, DCYF case, it's going to the CAC tomorrow. That is essential. It's a level 1, it's significant. There's me. So I'm bringing Kevin, here we go, jump in. I gotta bring George out to cover the town because, Dan's not coming in until a little bit later, and so that's how it's running. So we're just taking what's in front of us and moving forward.
And
we're
hopefully you
very
don't
busy.
have an unusual event, like Saturday I was coming down 125 when I saw that guy smack the car.
Yeah.
oh, Chase.
Yeah, well, it was Epping chased him first, and then Dan picked
I
it
think he
up.
decided
It's
to go
actually
over.
started in Dover.
Started in
Dover.
Dover.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
but I was just in
Kingston.
front of the,
We terminated the pursuit, did the right thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Terminated the pursuit, and then
I see that
Kingston
on
had,
Facebook
that,
probably.
right, maybe with encumbered funds this coming year or whatever, I'd like to get some spike mats, because they're, especially if you're going north and south, like 125,
yeah.
you throw those things out, and it takes the.
All 4 tires gone.
Yeah,
Good.
and that's how they got in
Yeah,
Kingston.
yeah, no, that was a good thing.
So, I mean, we are very, we are very busy, and it's good, you know, we're seeing arrests, and we're seeing productivity, it's just, what comes with that is, well, you know.
From what I heard from people, they're ecstatic, because they've been seeing a lot of, you guys are being seen by the public, so that's good.
Very positive backfeed.
Yeah, I think so.
All
Back
right.
feed, that's a
Back
new.
feed.
Back.
That's a new-
Feedback.
That just happened on Rowell Road.
Yeah.
Sticks and
All
stones.
right,
go
anything
to
else? Are
No,
we all set?
yeah, I think, did you wanna address being
What?
notified? Cause I agree with Phyllis that sometimes things go, I know things are happening fast, and I said this before and I'll say it again. I know that the chair has to meet with the administrator, and that's fine, I don't have a problem with that. We went 3 weeks without meeting here just now.
I think it's
We-
too
we
long.
I
just
think I
need-
saw her
we-
once in
I-
3 weeks.
No,
Yeah,
whoever,
but that's-
but we just
that's
need to
the
have
point.
a log or something that just
So we
kind
know
of
what's
brings
going
us
on.
along about what's going on. I'll be in tomorrow, cause I haven't looked at all the mail, 'cause part of it was I was gone.
Your Google Drive.
Yeah, is that working? Cause I did get it
Yes, I
once.
upload every day.
Oh, you do every day?
She's not sending
But you
emails
know
every
what I
day.
like about it?
Oh, so that's, I'm looking for another email.
I don't like it, well, the one thing I don't like is when you upload new files to it. So I set up a Google Drive for the Board of Selectmen and put their mail in that folder.
Right.
What I don't like about it is it doesn't tell you
If it's been read.
it doesn't tell you, you can upload the material, but it doesn't keep it in order, so
Oh,
when you
so-
dump in new
oh,
stuff,
okay, so it's-
you have
it's
to
just
kind of
like
pay
spread
attention
out.
to
But then
what
when
you
you
already.
read one,
So-
you have to get out of the whole program and go back in again.
It's
I mean,
free.
and
So I
it's-
said to Phyllis earlier, I said, well, I got the first email, and the mail was in, and I got to it, it was great, I looked at it. But it's like reading those notebooks, I'm not really keen on that idea, I'd rather come in and look at it, So, I didn't realize that we were, so I said to her, I'm waiting for another email to see if we get mail again, cause it worked the first time, but I didn't see anything.
You know, I
since.
emailed you the first time to give you your credentials so that you
Yeah.
can log into it, and then I just update it when I get new mail in, and then I put the hard copy in that folder.
And of course, you know, as a secure process, that I write that down, so I don't forget it.
And he
I don't
tapes
put it
and
on
he
sticky
tapes
note.
here.
I don't do that, no.
Okay.
So I just so we just need to know what's going on. I don't wanna find out in a meeting that somebody did something that we didn't know about, so that's all. I'll say it again, that's what I said, so. Anyway, we'll figure something
I
out.
feel like an outsider, okay?
And the public has something apparently.
Yep.
Oh,
Go,
what, can,
go ahead.
Yeah,
so,
like a law
I
or
was
something.
well, no, I mean, anything discussed between Bob and Karen should email.
To everybody.
But I was a strong believer when we shot down last year that the 4 o'clock meetings just to sign stuff on off weeks is a good idea because we all sit down and get to talk about stuff.
Yep.
But nobody wanted to do it. And it worked really well when we used to do it, that we just came in, didn't have a meeting, we just did
Everybody
payroll
was here at 4 o'clock.
and had
There we
a
go.
work meeting of, we could all discuss what was going on, what needed to be done, instead of going 2 or 3 weeks without having a meeting.
Yeah, it's.
And that's what happens, is things get lost, we forget about things.
Well, can we vote to do
So
that now?
maybe we
or
should
is it too
rethink
late?
that then. I don't
We
know,
can do that.
that puts the
Can I
onus
make a
back on.
motion that we meet at 4
Well,
o'clock?
hold on, that puts the onus back on Karen though, to be here at
She's
4
here
o'clock.
anyways.
Not
No,
on
she
the off
goes
week,
home
she
and
goes
goes
home.
home.
Yeah, she doesn't need to be here on the off week, so let's think about that.
We could meet at 3 o'clock, I
Yeah, meet
mean,
at 3 o'clock.
Okay,
It just depends for
with the
me,
exception of him, but
because I'm all over the place.
we'll just need 3 of us. If we have to decide something, right?
right.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
But all 5 of you need to be able to meet at that
Yeah, yeah,
time,
Right.
at some point. I mean, it can't just be you 3 or,
Yeah, yeah,
whichever
that-
3
Count,
every
yeah.
time.
So
Be
that's
4
not
of us,
gonna
I mean,
work
that sort of
either.
defeats
Right.
the entire purpose.
There'll be
Yeah.
4 of us.
No, but then we leave Bob out. And then Bob was gonna be in the same category
Well,
that you and
I think if Bob can make a 4 o'clock, he can make a 3 o'clock on a lot of the times, it's just a matter of where he's traveling to.
Right,
If I'm in, upstate New York, or I'm in Maine,
We'll probably
You
go
can
see you.
telephone in as
Yeah,
long
you can
as
telephone,
there's
we
a
can do
physical
FaceTime.
forum present and they're agreeable to
We can
doing
Skype you
that.
guys.
depends on where I'm meeting and what I'm talking about. If I'm talking about something pretty major,
We can put an iPad up in your station and just.
If something
we're gonna
needs,
FaceTime nice.
if something needs a full board, we just table it until we have a full board.
Yeah,
I mean,
we,
there are a lot of issues that don't require a full board.
yeah.
right.
Were we supposed to
So
address
can we make
these?
a motion that would make,
That's
meet at 3?
3?
Can I make a motion?
Sure, you can
To
make
meet
a
at 3
On off weeks?
on off weeks?
I have
Yeah,
no
sure.
problem.
If we have a
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
And there'll be no agenda items, just mail
This is
and.
kind of a work session.
Right.
That's right.
If someone wants to say something, yeah, okay.
And the only thing I would say is if you could send out reminders to me.
I will send you the
Just put in my
agenda.
calendar meeting,
I'll have to know that it's gonna be
just
3
put in my
o'clock.
calendar at 1 o'clock, so I'm.
In the subject line, just the 3 o'clock meeting.
I'll have to, so Gloria will start coming to those meetings because then on my vacation week she'll have to sit
Right.
in.
Oh, yeah, Tracy?
Yeah.
I think Tracy's working with you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we try to scale back a little bit because we're trying to do, well, I mean, we need to still maintain segregation of duties between the offices, so we
Yeah.
have to be careful how much she's allowed to do in the assessment program because she has
But
access
I'm
to
sure you
that.
have plenty of stuff for her to do.
We do.
Yeah.
So we're teaching her AP and everything so that she can get back up if something happens near Gloria.
Right.
I have one minor issue. Mr. Schroeder and the Brentwood gardeners should be congratulated for first their work and their award in science.
Mr. Schroeder got that award from the Science
Yeah.
Association, teachers.
So I think as a board, you should recognize him.
Okay.
Just
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
And do I have a second?
Do we want to send a quick letter over to?
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, we didn't say anything about Donna either. She's leaving May 17th. Did we write her a letter or something?
We need to do that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we need to check that the fire department's doing something, because she
Well, I know
has-
Joe is
She's
planning
been
on
there for a
something. I
long
don't know
Oh,
what.
is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna miss her because we like to pronounce her last name.
Blah, 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 blah.
So is there a second to Ken's motion on that?
Do I have a
motion,
second?
Mr. Schroeder?
I'm Schroeder.
I can't second my motion.
Second? No
All in
second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Perfect.
Yeah.
Which is something.
Yes, Butch, I'm sorry.
I just, the Google Drive issue, I want to just query the board about that. Is that something new instead of giving the selectmen a correspondence packet every week? The documents that you
No.
normally give are going to go to Google
It's in
Drive?
addition to, so the correspondence packet is just their agenda and notes, and then they have, in that black folder is their regular mail folder. So I've just been uploading the mail folder essentially to the Google Drive.
And is that a public file?
No.
So it's available, so it's not.
Yes.
So then, on that note, you guys talk about a whole bunch of things every week that aren't on the agenda. I don't know if they come under the heading of selectmen's business,
Notes?
Notes.
but I mean, there's a slew of items, and if you're like me and you're a little bit of hearing impaired, it's hard to keep track of what you're voting on, you're making motions on. So the packet that's presented to the selectmen, are most of those documents public documents that they've requested? And can a packet be made available to people that come to the meetings to follow along what you're voting on?
I don't see, I see Butch's question. I think most of the stuff that's in notes probably could be agenda items. I mean,
It could be.
there's really no difference.
Yeah.
So you just make a
But this
copy
is
of the
public.
notes and
And-
give it to the
Yeah.
public.
And to follow up on what you said, Andy, I've looked at some of the agendas from other towns, and ours is pretty bare bones. In other towns, all those things are listed somewhere on the agenda, so you can go like, oh yeah, that's what they're voting on, and you know what the board is doing.
You mean like the stuff we're signing?
Right.
All the
All that
business
stuff?
you're conducting that's not on the agenda, because you look at the agenda and go, well, what are they?
Could have an agenda item for
Tax records or?
sign abatements.
Like, I don't think the lease, was that on the agenda tonight?
No.
No.
Which,
What
lease?
What lease?
You renewed the lease for somebody's,
Oh, the land to mow.
Oh. That
Oh,
was a
the
memo in
hang,
my-
the hang lease.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so
That was a memo in
you
there.
want, you want all this,
I think the public should be able to know what
Anything
the
we
board
vote
is working on
probably
every
should
week,
be on
and
the
it's
agenda
not,
because-
unless I request
Well, the only
the
difficult.
selectmen's packet, you have to,
The issue with that is, I mean, there's documents in here that I received today, so it wouldn't have made it in time for posting on the agenda 24 hours prior. I mean, this was on my desk when I came in today, this was on my desk when I mean,
And you should be able to, you're
Well,
right.
that's unusual because you're not here. I mean,
No,
when you're here, no.
Well,
we
no,
can
'cause
certainly
Jim
make
was
a
here.
copy of the.
Jim
Jim was here
Yeah.
this morning.
We
I
have-
would submit, as a member of the public, that if the documents aren't private and they're available under the right to know law, that there should be a packet available for anybody that comes to the meeting to follow along at what you're voting on. If there's a packet put together for the Board of Selectmen and it's not confidential, there could be a packet available to the public. Because you guys are going off of a list that's different than the agenda,
We don't have a list, she just says what we're voting
or
on.
whatever, someone has a
Yeah, I
list.
mean,
We don't have a list.
We don't have a list either.
She just has a pile of documents.
That need to be signed and moved
Right.
forward, so that way we're not waiting 3 weeks to sign something. And we've also actually bottlenecked quite a bit, because we probably had 3 weeks off.
Yeah, we've had some time off, so.
I mean, I can, as a member of the public, I could ask the documents after the fact, but it would be nice to be able to follow along at the meeting.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So can I make a right to know request ahead of time?
I don't know how that
No.
works. How does that
No,
work?
you can't do that.
No? No. It would be nice to have a
We'll see what we
standing
can do to
order.
improve.
What we'll try and do is.
We'll take that under
Thank you very
advisement,
much.
how's that?
Baby steps,
We'll
baby
try,
steps.
we'll
We're
try
working
and
on it.
make
Baby
the
steps.
stuff.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, my God.
So Pam,